Ohio gozaimashita! Konnichiwa, ito kanbawa. Watashi no name Marketus irashaimase.
Or in other words, greetings and salutations, ledgelords, ladies, and gender fluid friends of any persuasion. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are. Welcome to Gamersledge. I'm one of your hosts, Mark, and joining me in the Discord today is a Jimmy Julius. Hi, Jimmy Julius. Maybe he's on mute. Am I on mute still? How about now? No, still nothing. Evan, what's up? Neo, welcome in. Why is this not working? I'll find out momentarily. Boop, boop, boop. We'll do it the old-fashioned manually way. There we go. Wouldn't unduffin for some reason. Well, joining me is Jimmy Julius.
Oh.
And also a Neo Sapien or Matt. Hi, Matt.
Hi. I'll get used to this interface eventually.
Welcome in. For those of you joining on TikTok, by the way, if you have joined us on TikTok, please make sure that you say something in the chat, and then, of course, follow us if you're not already following us, and share, if you would, please. Welcome in, Evan. Welcome in, Rufo. Welcome in, Kethrick. Lee Howe, welcome in. Hi, Jimmy. I see you in there. So we're here for Gamersledge podcast. It is our bi-weekly pop culture news and reviews podcast. We're going to do something a little bit different tonight. We're going to talk about TwitchCon because I just got back. That was last weekend. It didn't almost kill me. It wasn't that bad, but it was like we did the show Monday and I came back and it was I'm like, okay, I made it out okay. I made it out unscathed for a second year. And then while we were playing Dungeons and Dragons, suddenly I felt my throat getting sore and I'm like, oh no. And by Tuesday, it was maybe a sinus infection or heading that way. And so I kept myself super hydrated. I used some stuff to try and make me feel better, and it did a little bit, but I was pretty much out for most of Tuesday and Wednesday. And then yesterday was like fine. I mean, I'm still a little under the weather.
Hi, everyone.
But I totally thought that I was okay and ready to go for last night podcast and then our last night show. And right beforehand is like a 50-pound weight just fell on the back of my head. And I'm like, okay, I guess I'm not doing podcast or I'm not doing magic tonight. So I am glad that you played, Jimmy, that you guys still played. I really did want to play.
I was fiending. Yeah, I wasn't going to give you crap because I know you're struggling with con flu, but...
Yeah, well, luckily it's not con flu, and I don't think it was COVID either. I just think I was heading towards a sinus infection, and I did the right stuff soon enough that it didn't blow up into full... Yeah, I did something... Since I'm laid off, I don't have any health insurance, so I did something dumb, and I actually did a teledoctor conference yesterday. Hopefully that won't be too much. But I was like, well, it really depends how I felt today. And if I felt, good today, then I wasn't going to go pick up what they prescribed me, which is basically steroids. And if I felt horrible, then I was going to go pick it up and use it. But I feel pretty okay, and I'm not hacking up a lung. Luckily, I've not really been coughing the whole time, just sinus stuff. So I sound like Barry White on Tuesday, but now I'm back to my almost normal self. So yeah, I thought this would be a good venue to talk about TwitchCon because Jimmy, you've been to a TwitchCon, have you not?
Yeah.
And then Matt, you have not.
No, I have not.
Okay. So I thought we'd talk about what is TwitchCon because it's a hard thing to kind of put into words. But I thought it would be good to go over that if people have questions about TwitchCon. And then once we do that, I'll actually go over all the stuff that I did this TwitchCon and stuff. TwitchCon is a Twitch run event that lasts a weekend, usually in October, mid-September or early October, one of the two. It is kind of what you make of it. And that's a weird way to describe it, but I think it's the best way to describe it because there are a lot of people who go for different reasons. Like I did a live stream while I was there and I said something probably controversial, but it was also factually true. Like on that weekend, I think the largest per capita of goth girls exist in San Diego
Sapien.
for that
Hi, Killer
weekend.
Dragon 055.
Because I've never seen so many goth girls in one place ever. Not even when I've been to Goth Rays before. It was crazy good. But I mean, there's also a lot of people there for cosplay. There's also a lot of people there who want to do the stuff on the expo floor. And that's the only reason they go, because there's video games to play. There's tournaments to enter. It's growing each year. I found quite a few people who were going just for the Magic stuff or the D&D stuff, because they run D&D and Magic games there, and they get to play in person, whereas they live somewhere where they can't. So that was I saw that for the last 2 years, but it's steadily, like, the amount of space it's taking up in the con is growing, and it was packed this entire weekend, especially with Duskmorn launching the same weekend as the con. There were everybody doing sealed and all that kind of stuff. So that was interesting. And then there's business geeks like me that go there for the sessions, and the sessions are, I don't want to say only about business. It's not. There are meetups for different things. So if Matt is a Star Wars fan and he wants to meet other Twitch streamers and people who use Twitch who are Star Wars fans, he could do a Star Wars meetup. I don't actually think there was a Star Wars meetup this year.
Oh, that's fine.
That I saw. Anyways, so there's meetups. There's the Artist Alley, which was huge. It was the entire top of the convention center, pretty much, or half of it. Half of it, I would say. And then the other thing is that there's people, like, a lot of my friends this year, well, not a lot of, but several of my friends this year only got a 1-day ticket, even though they were in town for like a week, and they just did, they did things with friends outside of TwitchCon. And even, Teal X Soul drove in from LA, because it's like an hour and a half, 2 hours, depending on traffic, to hang out outside the con with me and Jag and the rest of them. So it's really like, what do you want TwitchCon to be? And then you kind of design your trip around it. I will say that for me, I always go there because I'm trying to grow the Twitch channel. I'm trying to be a better streamer and a better content creator. So I want to hear from the people who are successfully doing it, how they do it, what tips they recommend, that type of stuff. So that's mostly what I did. And
I mean, that's true really of any, I mean, it sounds like this one especially, but I mean, that's really kind of true of any con, whether it's like, I was just at Dreamforce, which is basically business geek con, right? You know? And there's people that go there for the boondoggle. There's people that go there for meeting up with people they haven't seen in a year or whatever, you know, and there's people that go there for the sessions and the announcements and the meeting with, you know, I met with executive vice presidents and vice presidents of Salesforce. You know, you don't get that kind of access, you know, just in your day-to-day doldrums usually. So, but it sounds like it's kind of similar really to that.
it is. And I actually got to give direct feedback to the devs, and I told them, bring back freaking hosting, because why? And they're like, well, the main reason we took it away was that, you know, we saw that there weren't that many views from it. I'm like, well, then it's not costing you anything to have the feature, is it? And she looked at me and she said, that's a good point. I said, you know, anytime that we can help, you know, discoverability for other streamers, that's a win for everybody on the platform. And it's better than having a row of 5, you know, icons down at the bottom for people that we suggest, but when there's somebody live, we can actually just send them right there. They also announced at the time that if we are co-streaming at the same time, so let's say Jimmy Julius was live right now we could actually merge our streams together and our chats. So it would be a merged chat of Jimmy Julius's followers and my followers, or chat people. So I thought that was good, but I followed up with, okay, great, but you need to do that with offline chats too. And they're like, why? And I'm like, because I generally have between 3 and 7 people in my Discord who are streamers who are not streaming. But if the chats are merged and someone goes to Jimmy's channel and types something, then we all know that there's somebody there watching from his channel. Because it signposts it in the chat who they come from. Welcome in to everybody on TikTok that's watching and joining us. Thank you for doing so. Hope everybody's having a great Friday. So that's kind of what it is. And I've had very different experiences in TwitchCon each of the 3 years I've gone. The first year I went, I pretty much stuck like glue to No Novocaine, and he and I went to like every session possible for the 3 days we were there. And he's never done that again because I think he decided, hey, some of this is good, but I kind of just want to go do the stuff I want to do to enjoy myself, which is fine, right? There's nothing wrong with that at all. Last year we had everybody in, pretty much. We had Dan, we had Shank, we had who else was there? My brain has completely shut down.
I don't know.
Dark Razored. That's 3. We had like 6 people staying here, so I don't understand why I can't remember this. Anyways, we had a lot of people, and that's why I wanted to do the TwitchCon before the end of the week, because I knew I was going to forget everything if I didn't do it. So we basically had a bunch of people, and it became we all went to different
sessions
because one of the biggest complaints about the sessions at TwitchCon is that they generally have only one of each thing, and they overlap with other things you want to go to.
Right.
So it becomes a real, and they don't stream them. And they did it like, I think last year they streamed some of the things. Hi, Daisy. What'd you have to eat today? Happy Friday. We're talking about TwitchCon, where I was with your boy toy, your hubby. Actually, I only saw Jag like twice the entire TwitchCon. You're eating pineapple yogurt. Nice. He told me he's attempting to become Chonk Leisure again. I encouraged him. I said, go for it. I also got to meet his brother, so that was nice too. And I got to see, of course, Sedan and a bunch of people, but I'll get to that when we get through the pictures and the videos and stuff. But I hope you're doing great, Daisy. I'm happy. He's Chunk without the leisure. I'm Chunk without the leisure. He's still better fit than me. I'm happy to see you, Daisy. I hope you're doing well. I was sad that you didn't make it out to TwitchCon. Maybe next year, since it's so close. But yeah, it was one of those things where that was last year, so there was a lot of kind of focus around doing stuff with different people as well as going to all the meetings. And then this year, pretty much everybody from Jag's group decided to do their own stuff and scattered the 4 winds. And so I ended up with Kiki, who is Keep It Kawaii, and I drove. So it's like 5 hours for me to get down there. It's it's an exceedingly boring trip because it's basically point your car in one direction and go flat for most of the way. Sometimes there's a slight down and up, and then turn left after 3 hours and then drive straight again for another 2 hours. And you're at the convention center. That's really how it is. It's a real boring drive. So I got in on Thursday afternoon, and Kiki got there early but she was at a temporary hotel before she moved to a real hotel. So we both needed to go pick up our badges. So we went down and we went to go get our badges, and I had looked at the prices for the parking at the convention center because generally
Sapien.
it's not terrible.
Hey everyone, shout out if you have any questions.
It's usually
about
$20 a
Twitch.
day. And that's not bad for major city parking. But I guess there was an event going on, and so it was $40 at the convention center. So I was like, hell no. And I went, I think we went down a couple more blocks more to one of the hotels and parked in their parking garage and then just walked back. So we talked and she really wanted to focus on growing her channel. So I kind of talked about the stuff I had learned in the previous sessions in the last 2 years and what sessions I thought would be beneficial for her in this one, and then which ones I was going to go to. And so we ended up like pretty much all weekend just hanging out the whole time. And she is absolutely lovely and hilarious. And I don't think she'd yell at me because she does it on her channel, but she snorts when she laughs for real, and it's hilarious. It is absolutely hilarious. And she is just like the nicest person. And she is like everybody. I think anybody who is a content creator goes through that imposter syndrome stage where it's like, I'm not qualified to be doing this. So she's actually blown up pretty heftily in the last, year or so. So she was like, I'm not sure that I deserve this, that, or the other. I'm like, you definitely deserve all those things. Quit being so hard on yourself. And we basically, looked at all the stuff and started mapping it. So we did that. And then I took her to her hotel, and then she didn't have anyone to be with that night. And I couldn't go out with Jag and them because on Thursday night, I had set that aside as a night that I was going to go out with Sean and Mimi because I was staying with them for the con. And so I knew, because Jag had invited me to go to the barcade, one of the barcades there downtown, that they were all going to go, and it was going to be a decent sized group of like 8 of them or so. And I knew Nova was going to be there, and I knew Jag was, safe company for her. And so I made the introduction and said, hey, can you take care of Kiki and, show her a good time so she's not sitting alone in a hotel room somewhere? And they were like, of course, send her down. And they all had a great time. So I was super happy about that. Sean and Mimi and I went out to like a little, I don't know even what you call it. It's a bar with a restaurant, I guess is the best way to say that. You ever go to those places where you feel like it's a bar with a restaurant tacked on?
I live in rural Wisconsin, dude. That's like 9/10 of the places out here.
Yeah, well, there you go. I mean, it's not a restaurant. It's not a restaurant with a bar. It's a bar with a restaurant.
No, it's a bar with a restaurant. I mean, that's where my daughter worked in town here for 4 years.
So how would that differ?
It's
more
a
bar than
feeling.
restaurant?
Yeah, it's more the vibe of the place. It's like people go there to drink, and they have food so that you stay longer.
Oh, I see.
As opposed to
bar, it's 90% bar and a little extra seating around the outside.
No. Like it's like a full. I want to say restaurant, but like the whole thing's open to the elements. So,
it's an outside thing?
But no, I mean, even inside, you're like, there's no windows. They just have cabanas and stuff. So, but they have like air conditioning still going. I don't know how they afford that, but whatever. But yeah, that's the, so we went there and we met some friends of theirs, and we just talked and ate and had a good time. And then we went back after, and I don't know, we talked till like midnight or something. So it was an early night for me comparatively to most of the time I go to TwitchCon. And so
Have you ever been to like a bowling alley bar? That's like the
I
most
have.
common one I could think of.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like that, right? That's kind of the feel. Except
Yeah.
you sounded a little more classy with the cabanas and
Yeah. It wasn't. It was in like the trendy downtown section of this little town that they live in. So it's not like it was like seedy. That's not what the vibe that it gave off. But it is more
Dive?
no sports bar-y, maybe.
Okay.
I guess
Like
is
a
how I would say that.
something.
You know, they have TVs, but it's not a sports bar, so it's not quite the sports bar vibe. But that's how I would probably label it or classify it. But it, you know, it was fine. It was good. The food was actually good, so I was surprised. And so that was the first night. So get up early the next day and ended up driving in, no problem, because it's like a 25-minute drive from their house to the convention center, super easy, and parked, no worries there. And then went to like the first day. It surprised me when I mapped out all my sessions. I only went to 2 sessions on the first day, and part of that is because I have been to TwitchCon 3 times and done like all the sessions I wanted to. So I didn't need to do Partner 101, which, by the way, if you ever consider going to TwitchCon, if you know what the partner qualifications are, you're done. You can skip that one. Like, there is no additional useful information in that session. I'm sorry to say.
You just read the agreement and facts.
Yeah,
on the page.
And the questions are always, well, what's the magic formula to get approved? And all the TwitchCon employees say, we have no idea. So, again, if there's something even remotely more interesting that you see you want to go to, probably a better idea to go to that.
wow.
Thanks for the information. I'll take it home and use it.
Yeah. So, I mean, I think for that day, let me see here. Cancel TwitchCon notes. Yeah, I did like Brain Streamer Synergy was one of them that I did, which was actually super useful. I did another one on brand partnerships. That's really what I kind of focused on this time, was a deeper dive into brand deals. You might be sensing a theme here from these. But yeah, on the first day there was only 2. So what I did is I took that first day and I actually walked around the expo floor, which I will say, every year I've gone, I've never made it all the way through the floor because I've usually been booked solid in meetings. And so this was I was disappointed that there weren't more meetings on day 1, because I knew that meant there were going to be other ones that I'd want to do that were going to overlap in the other 2 days. But at the same time, I was like, well, you know what? I'll do these 2, and then I will automatically, hi, Doggo Dragon. Also, welcome back, Daisy. I knew that I could take the time to go through the expo floor. And so that's what I did. And I was very disappointed because I found out that Cyberpower PC is no longer doing trade shows, and they've stopped their referral program.
Oh, really?
Yeah, their sponsorship program. Because I sold 10 last year for them by referrals, which is like $30,000+. So I wanted to have a serious conversation with them, but since they're not doing it anymore, I may go elsewhere now. So yeah, that was the gist of that. I thought there were some interesting things on the floor. I wish I had done more footage of the floor. I don't think I did very many of it at all, very much of it at all. It's a weird thing. Like, I've not been to E3, but I've been to many game shows, and TwitchCon is a weird mix. The expo floor for TwitchCon is a weird mix of indie show and AAA show. So it's like E3 or it's like E3 in spots, and then it's like, here's a booth for Midwest Games, which is a publisher who develops games from the Midwest. That is literally not even a 6, maybe a 4x6 booth. So it's like you've got Capcom there, and they have like stations for Street Fighter, and they have a Monster Hunter Dragon you can do photo op on, and they have like, all those different types of things, which I think I do have in the pictures. You know what? Let me do this. Oh boy, how do I do this? I don't know that I can do this from here. Hold on. I just realized I have a problem with my Stream Deck in that I didn't plan for something. Let me see here. If I do this and then I go there, does that work? Oh, success. It does work. Okay. So let me try and find the pictures for this. There's my friends that came to visit in Vegas like right before TwitchCon. I did not know they were going to be here, so that was nice. No, that's not it. Oh, so there's Kiki and I on Thursday. I got my hair done right before I left, so that was extra blue. So that's Kiki and I on Thursday, and then it was like I showed up to get this was the line, to get into TwitchCon the next morning. And when I got to the line, there was no line. And as soon as I got to the line went all the way down the block. So good timing on that. Then I ran into Oki Caitlin and Jag and Sakura Sedan and Jay and Justin. And I did the loot store. Loot store was a little nuts this year, in my opinion. So for the last 2 years, when you went into the loot cave, the way they would do it is like they would have like a mannequin with the shirt, right? And then you would go to that mannequin and there would be open drawers with all the different sizes of the shirts. So there'd be like 3 containers and it would go from small to, quadruple 5XL or whatever. And you would just take what you want and then go stand in line and check out. It was actually a really smooth, easy process. Not bad. This year, they had none of that. They had the mannequins, but then you had to go stand in line for someone to pull your merchandise. And then you paid for it. So it was much longer and much more dysfunctional. And there were 2 lines, and the second line, you could only buy certain products, and all those products were also in the final line. So it didn't, it was super weird. But shirts were 30 to 65 a piece. Hoodies were like usually 65 and up. Backpacks this year were like $55, and I was like, no.
Used to be the other way around. Backpacks were more than hoodies.
Yeah, well, but last 2 years, backpacks were 40, and this time they were 55. So I was like, that seems excessive. So I did end up getting 2 shirts. I was also very disappointed, would be a good way to say it, in the shirt that one of the 2 TwitchCon shirts, because I liked one far better than the other one. And they did not. I'll just show it. It's just easier. Hold on. Let me figure out how to do this though. If I go here.
Was the design of the backpack cool, or was it?
No, it was super generic.
Oh, okay, that's cheese.
Yeah, I was pretty disappointed, and they also had the one from last year too.
Just like selling the leftovers.
Yeah, that's what it felt like. What am I trying to do here? I'm trying to do magic close up. There we go. Whenever this kicks over here, there we go. Okay, so this is my favorite one that they offered this year, but it's got nothing printed on the back. And yet, it was the exact same cost as all the dual-sided shirts, which I think was a little overtaxed, I guess is the best way to say that. What's up, Rainey? How are you doing? Sorry, my sinuses are getting away from me at the moment.
Oh, hi, Mark.
Oh, hi, Rainey. Welcome in, Gianna. Welcome in, J-Dog.
Blurb. Playing
Welcome in,
blurb
Mindy.
sound emote meme using
But yeah, so this is the first
Train
shirt that I got.
Devils.
And
Hi,
then
friend.
this is the other TwitchCon shirt, which on the front just has the TwitchCon logo. And on the back, I'm trying to get this so that the camera can capture as much as possible, because it's too big for my area. But
Interesting.
so it's almost like a surf shop.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. Surfer style.
Yeah, which is okay, but I like the Dino better, honestly.
Reminds me of like the Long Beach con. That's the one I went to.
So those three, so I got one of those for Lexi as well. So 3 t-shirts, $110 plus tax. Woof.
Thanks.
Yeah. Anybody that says company
Sparkles
can't be a
Mandy.
t-shirt company.
Did you have fun in the gas lamp district?
Yeah, we did. We had a lot of fun. I didn't spend too much. Yeah, I didn't actually go to the Twitch party. I was there. I walked through the Twitch party. Well, I'll get to that in a minute. By the way, I was supposed to show this off on stream, and I totally forgot. We just celebrated our 9th anniversary, and this was the card that Lexi got for me.
Sparkles
And
Mandy.
I forgot
I'm
to
from
show it
San
off
Diego.
on camera. So yeah,
Holy shit.
yeah. It actually plays music too, but you can't hear it. But yeah, I thought that was kind of either she's trying to kill me or she loves me.
Give you a seizure. What the?
Yeah. So
You got something Fallout? What is that?
oh, this is my Fallout mat. I don't have a Fallout deck, that's why I never use it. But this was a birthday present from Dan for
That's
me.
pretty cool.
Yeah. You're from San Diego, Mandy? I'm really depressed that we didn't meet then. Were you at TwitchCon? I'd be super depressed if you were. Not really depressed, but next time, no excuses, since it's there for the next 4 years.
Wow.
Is that San Diego for the next 4 years?
Yeah.
Including this one or the next 4 after this one?
No, the next 4 after this one. 5-year
Oh,
block,
damn.
they said.
I signed a 5-year deal.
Yeah. Okay, let me see if I can go back to this other screen and still have it be with the pictures and stuff.
Sparkles Mandy. No, I am in Texas now, but all my family is out there.
Okay.
Deal
okay.
so. Is this the FF7 mat waiting room?
Yes, it is, Teal.
Smile.
But
Smile.
don't get ahead of me in the story. I'm not there yet, but I'll get there. How you doing, my friend? I already was talking about how you came up to meet us from LA, which was awesome. Let's see. So then,
Deal so. My bad. LOL.
yeah, you're good. So this is one of the dedicated LAN areas that they have for playing different games and stuff. So that's kind of cool. This was the line for the loot cave before it started. That blue area ahead of me that I keep panning past was where they set up all the DJs this year. And I'm not joking when I say that I don't know how they played in there without getting permanent hearing loss. It was
bit of echo.
so loud. It completely shook the entire arena. And
Wow.
it was like that every single day. I'm like, and then they put the
So,
community room
Can't he stay long?
right
But
next
doing
to
all right.
it.
It was really
So
nice
for
to
the
see
community
you.
meetups and everything, just talking to somebody, you were having to shout against the thing. So I was like, that was an odd choice. Maybe not the best. Teal can't stay long, but doing all right. It was really nice to see you. It was great to see you as well. Oh, man.
The dog went nuts.
Dog made me cough.
Duke, so
Sympathetic barking,
I
coughing,
gotta get you for food at some point.
like when somebody
LOL.
sneezes and then somebody else sneezes.
That's all right. There'll be plenty of opportunities for that, my friend. No worries there. So yes, we did. So that was like the main layout coming in. Of course, TwitchCon. There was Jay Cuppy, who's currently streaming. I'll probably end up rating out to him at the end. Was happy to finally meet up with him. We saw each other a couple times, but never got to do anything, which is most of the case. This was so at the end of the second day. I think I ended up going to like, I don't know, 6 workshops that day. So I really didn't do too much else. Or was this Friday night? No, this was Friday night. So this was the end of the first day. Sorry, excuse me. So I wandered around the expo floor, saw all the stuff, and I'll talk about some of the stuff that both here
Duke, so
and on Sunday.
this was Friday night.
And
Yes.
there's Teal on the right,
LOL.
right? Oh, I got to do this in 3D. I don't know. There's Teal, and there's it ate my hand. Nobody likes that guy. And then back here, we had Justin and Megan and Tyler because they live in San Diego. So I was like, hey, we've got room. I'm going to make the reservation in a minute. You guys want to come to Korean barbecue with us? And they were super nice and said yes. And so they drove out and took them like a half an hour to get down there. So I thought that this was the place I had gone to 2 years ago. And it was not, but it was really, really good. And we were there so long, they kicked us out. So that was kind of hilarious. And there's another story with this Korean barbecue place, but we'll get to that in a minute.
Duke, so
Oh yeah, there's a better one.
it was nice not to have to cook.
It's always nice not to have to cook. Lexi loves the corn cheese at Japanese places and Korean places, so I took a picture to taunt her. It worked. She was very upset. Then I ran into, so then the second day rolled around, started around 9:45 again, and between sessions ran into Siuni and Massive Lee from the UK. So it was nice that he flew over again. And then swipe right Mike. I went to my first community meetup. It was a Final Fantasy community meetup, and ended up running into some people I knew. So that was nice. And then the funny part was, so the community meetups, there's 2 rooms, 2 areas, and they're right next to each other, cordoned off by tape. So while I was at Final Fantasy, Pokemon was next door. And Kiki and I had been trying to meet up that day for a while, and we never managed to really sync except during 1 meeting or 2 meetings or something like that. Well, anyways, I didn't know that they were all at Pokemon next door. And so I left the Final Fantasy thing, and the line for Pokemon was literally outside the convention. So I was never going to get in there to see them, and I'd already left the Final Fantasy one. And I would have thought there had been more Final Fantasy ones than Pokemon, but no, sir. So I was
Crowds are crazy.
I was surprised by that. So then, so this is funny. So then I'm at a meeting. I'm at one of the meetings again, And I'm always there a little bit early to get a good chair and then save seats for anybody I know wants to come to it. And
Star Wars.
Hi, Tom. So I sit down
Star Wars.
and someone else comes.
I'll be back.
Thank you for the lurk, Tom. Someone else comes and sits like 2 seats down from me. And I'm looking at her card. And about
Julius.
6 months ago,
Hey, Tom.
I had rated out to someone solely based on their name. Have either of you guys read Wheel of Time? Or watched the Amazon series?
No,
Okay.
I might have.
Well, one of the main female leads, her name is Egwene, and it's a very unusual name. And I literally rated into her and then asked her the question, hey, did you take this from the Wheel of Time? And she's like, yes, I absolutely love the name. And she was, pretty wholesome streamer, very nice, but she was also out of Europe. And so this person sits down next to me at the thing, and I look at her badge, and it's very similar. And I'm like, wow, you're only the second person I've ever seen use that name as a Twitch handle. And she looked at me and said, Mark? She'd flown over from Europe to go to the show. And it turns out she was at Korean barbecue, the same restaurant at the same time, divided by a wall. I'm like, what is that kind of nonsense? That's like, okay, sure. So
Is she a VTuber or something? I mean,
No.
you didn't.
no,
recognize her or just
actually, she doesn't use cam.
oh, okay.
So that's why I didn't recognize her. I think she might use VTuber now, but when I first rated her, she didn't use anything, and still was pulling great numbers. So I was like,
That's cool.
nice, yeah. And then I ran into Dean the Bean as well. Actually, this was a makeup picture because when I ran into Jay Cuppy, it was Dean's birthday. And so he was busy talking to a bunch of people, so I didn't get a picture with him. And then this day it was Jay Cuppy's birthday. So I got a picture with Dean that day instead. Then I found a magic artist, like an actual magic card artist, who makes tokens. And not just tokens, but also steel tokens. And I took pictures of all of them to put into the magic thing on the Discord so that people could see it. And there's this QR code to his website and whatnot. But I unfortunately did not come out unscathed from that excursion. Magic close up. Okay. So these are the ones that I got. I saw this one and was like, well, crap.
Forgot about that.
So it's a metal construct token. I'm like, it's so cool.
I want one. I'm getting one of those if they're at the Magic Con, which I'm pretty sure they will.
I'm pretty sure he will be. I then also got an elf token for my elf deck because I have things that make elves. And then I also got where is it?
How much are they a piece? Do you mind asking? You don't want to don't say it, then just throw it in chat later.
Yeah. It's not as bad as I was worried about, but more than I wanted. So there's my elf warrior because I have a bunch of things that make elf warriors in my deck too. And I think these are just like, it's hard because of the light effect there, but I think you can get the general.
It's a different type of foil. It's like a metal shine instead
Yeah,
of a foil.
that's exactly it. And I think it's absolutely brilliant. I picked up a dragon for the dragon decks.
It's
cover
like
it.
wet foil, which
Yeah.
is even cooler.
The hell is this one?
Are you able to use those
Oh.
in like
Yeah.
real play?
Yeah.
In like a tournament? Like,
Yeah.
They won't care.
No, because it's just a token. Monarch token.
I thought you said Mark token.
No,
at first.
Monarch.
Like, wait,
Monarch.
Mark.
It's a Monarch token, which is pretty badass.
Yeah, it looks pretty clean.
And then last but not least,
What's he saying for last?
a vampire token from a vampire deck.
Cool.
So they even have stats on them. It's a little hard to see from on the camera. It's a little hard to see unless you've got like direct light shining on it anyways. But yeah, I was like, damn it. I'm gonna have to buy these. So I did.
Construct for damn sure.
And
That looks sweet.
they were 10 apiece in the steel.
Okay, that's not crazy.
It wasn't, yeah, but I was like,
cheap. But not
I'm trying not to spend any money right now. I don't really have money to spend, and yeah, so it was like, great, yeah. But yeah, I've got I think I put the QR code in the chat. If I didn't in the channel, if I didn't, let me know and I'll fix that. Let me go back to the other scene real quick here. That was Mark Big. There we go.
like them.
So I saw these and immediately thought of Dave. Because what better way to drive people who love mobile things? Unfortunately, Lexi saw this and was like, why do we not own two of them? I'm like, you know why we don't own them? Because I'm not supposed to be spending any money right now.
And I love that one of them is a Digimon.
Yeah. 100%. But they had
Two of them. They had a Pelmon in the back there too.
So it was interesting because they had these, but then they also had orbs that looked like Pokeballs, but were completely translucent. And they made like terrariums out of them. So it was pretty like really creative stuff. And they were very popular. That was, I was actually surprised I got this shot because they were packed almost the entire time. That was the one that I took just for you, Matt.
Oh, yes. That was
Yeah,
a good alloy.
it was a good alloy. It was a very, yeah, now you can see she's got the whole
must
leg.
have been a pain to carry the whole time. That thing was massive.
Oh, what'd I do? No, stop. Okay, there we go.
And she's got the boots and everything.
Yeah, no, man, she was like legit. That's why I wanted to get the picture. She's one of the only few cosplayers that I actually stopped because I thought it was so good. I thought you would appreciate the details so much.
Oh yeah, that is
And
impressive.
And then this was the only horror cosplayer I saw all weekend. And I was really surprised by that because I had a thought that next year maybe I'd go one day as a zipper face, as a zipper zombie. And she was the only one that had something like that all weekend that I saw. And I felt bad because this didn't really, like the picture didn't really do her justice. She sliced not sliced, but she extended her mouth out and then sliced it open.
Mm-hmm.
And it looked really, really good. So she did a lot of texture work on her neck and upper chest area. It looked really good. So this was the party Saturday night. And I paid for the ticket to go. And I was very surprised because they actually closed down all the restaurants that you see here.
Oh, wow.
I don't know if you could go in and well, they didn't close them down, but they closed access to them down. So I don't know if you could go into them and order separately, but they did have food outside as well. And they did massive karaoke thing. Anyways, I was going to go to it because it has bars and you got drinks and stuff. But Kiki had one of her main channel supporters drive out to meet her. And she she was like, "What are you doing? Are you going to the party?" Because she knew that I had tickets to the party. I'm like, I could go to the party, but nobody I know is going to the party. So if you got something and I'm not inviting myself, I'd rather do something with you than do that, than go to the party. So that's what we decided to do. We were going to go meet her follower, her channel, one of her community members and their partner, and go eat dinner. And I'm like, great, it's an adventure. Let's go do it. So this was me walking through the 2 blocks that they had cordoned off for the TwitchCon party to get to where they were. So we finally meet, and I don't have pictures of where we went here, but we finally meet up and we go to decide what we're going to do. And the gentleman that was there was like, "Oh, I know this great Brazilian place." I'm like, "I'm in."
Yeah.
Because I lived with Brazilians for quite a while. So I'm like, "I'm in, let's go." He's like, "Also, it's their last night." I'm like, "What do you mean?" He's like, "It's their last night. They're closing. This is their last location, and the owner's decided he wants to get out. So this is their last night." And I was afraid I wasn't going to get to go to this restaurant. Kiki and her partner had never been to Brazilian. I'm like, "You'll love it. It's great. Let's go, especially if it's authentic. Let's do it." And we went there, and man, it was great. I used my terrible Portuguese with the waitress. She said she was impressed, but I don't think she was, but that's okay. And it turns out that Kiki's supporter and his partner are from Vegas, and he works in the gaming industry. And so we had a nice long conversation about Brazil and about this and that and going overseas to, Asia. And we hit it off really nicely. And I owe him dinner, so I'm going to take him and his partner out here soon once Lexi is out of her medical stuff. So yes, it was a wonderful evening. And after that, we decided to do an escape room, which I've never done an escape room before.
You've never done an escape room?
You would think that I have, but I have problems with expectations, I think, in that I figured that most of them would be hella lame.
Right.
But in a social environment where, there was 4 of us, I'm like, let's do it. Let's do an escape room. So we went and we did an Egyptian escape room. And it was like when we drove out, it was still in the city, but in that part of the city that you were pretty sure somebody was going to jump out and kill you. And it was on the 3rd floor with no lights, no outside lights of a complex and all this stuff. It was shifty at best, but it turned out little family owned thing and really good. And like, if I had to rate it on a scale of 1 to 10, with my expectation being a 2, I would actually say it was probably an 8.
Nice.
It had both analog and digital traps and puzzles and stuff. As someone who worked in effects for theater for many years, I actually very much enjoyed what they did. And some of the puzzles were really, really good. And this was us at the end. After we had solved, we actually did escape. within the time limit.
Nice.
And it's funny because there's actually a section where you can get separated. And so we were constantly like, let's all stay together so we don't get separated. And then we got separated. But it was pretty cool. Like, I can explain here. If you look at the thing on the wall back behind Kiki here, you can't see it, but there's inlays. And you would find pieces and actually inlay them in the wall and they would stay there. And when you got all of them, it would do something. We had to do a laser light with mirrors, refraction thing. We had to do a bunch of stuff. It was really, really good, actually. I really enjoyed it. And then last day, there's our friend Mog. And he had, I don't know how he did it, but he had the sounds built into the suit.
Oh, wow. Nice.
So he was very popular. I don't know how he didn't die of heat stroke. He or she, I should say. I actually don't know. But yeah. So this was the line on the third day just to get in.
Wow.
It is literally like 60,000 people generally.
People.
Yeah, it's a lot of people. Oh, that's one of the Twitch staff that I got. And then this is really the last, it's literally on the bay. The convention center is. So
nice.
Kind of nice to just step outside and, you're right there. So you had the bay breeze kind of coming in the entire time. It was good. And that's all the pictures and stuff from that. And yeah, I actually left early. Not that I didn't have several more meetings I wanted to go to. I just realized around 2 p.m. I was tired. And I knew I had to drive 5 hours back. So I was like, well, I really do want to go to these sessions, but at the same time, is it going to be the end of the world if I don't? And the answer was no. So I drove back and made it home by 8 p.m. at that point. There was a couple things that I did want to talk about. Magic close-up. There it is. So I got a... pick these up. There was one more thing I bought. I'm saving that for last. But this is the bag that I filled with everything that I got during the con. Yeah. Let me talk about this real quick. So a water or a Gatorade and a hot dog at the convention center is $23. Yeah. So I'm used to those prices. They're not great prices, but I am used to them. So I was like, okay, whatever. I did it one day, I think. I think the second or the third day I just did tots, which was $8. The trick I wanted to say about this is make sure you go check the booths, because a lot of booths will have beverages as giveaways so that you don't have to buy beverages at the con, which is why I put it in the bag to talk about it, which is a weird thing, but yes. They gave me shoelaces this year. Yay, I guess. What do I have here? Oh, this was a handmade sticker by one of the people in a Gween's party.
That's cool.
Which I thought was neat. A bunch of my business cards, because I gave out so many business cards. Oh, there's my Apple Watch.
Oh, there's my Apple Watch.
Yeah. And this was actually a prize itself. And this is like the most comfortable dual strap backpack I've ever had. So
Nice.
Cut Labs is actually one of the things I wanted to talk about. I'm not sponsored by them, so keep in mind this is not a it's not
Not a
official-
paid promotion.
not a paid promotion. But I did stay one of the booths on the floor, and I'm like, okay, what do you guys do? And they're like, oh, we automatically use AI to cut your VODs down to shareable clips. And it also does the captioning as well. And I'm like, oh, okay, so like Streamladders. And they're like, who? And I'm like, okay. Yes. Except that the difference is that they don't charge by the minute or, any of that stuff. So you can load a 5-hour VOD and it will chop it up into 17 clips. And you can go in and you can tweak it. You can make it longer or shorter, whatever you want to do. And it's actually pretty slick. They had a thing there where if you went and talked to them and signed up there, you got a free month of their premium service. And I'm putting it through its paces, and it looks like, let me see how I do this. Hold on 1 second. I need to go to Mark Big. There we go. Okay, so if I go here to Cut Labs. Yeah, so it's cutlabs.ai. And so I basically go in and I can either feed it a URL or it will automatically take, like, once you've signed up for their service, you link your channel, and anytime there's a new channel, it automatically adds it as adds the new stream as a project. So here you can see all the stuff that I've been feeding it, and it looks like you can feed it like 5 to 6 a day, 5 to 6 VODs a day. And then it will just make 17 clips, 15 fit clips, et cetera, et cetera. Because this has been one of we don't have a full-time editor. And even getting somebody to mark timestamps of when there's anything funny or interesting going on in the streams has been a challenge. And I don't have the time to sit down and actually rewatch the VODs and go through them. So I'm like, okay, if AI can do it, hey, that fixes part of the issue. And so, streamer's wife steals the show with hilarious banter. I don't even know what this is. Let's see what it is. Okay. Would you hand me another? Everyone says hi. Hello, everyone, she says. And then would you possibly hand me a root beer?
Stop it.
What's that?
I don't even like root beer.
My wife just turned to me and said, "You've already had one for today."
Oh, shut
Yeah.
up. Get your own.
Pop off, queen.
And then she turns up to me and says, "I can get you some milk because it's past your bedtime."
Oh, the old
I don't remember. I mean, I do remember this happening
what,
now, but I don't.
I
I will remember this the next time you need help. Okay. Yeah, I'm actually gonna download this and use this as an actual clip I put up on TikTok or whatever. Everyone says hi. Hello, everyone, she says. And then would you possibly hand?
Gotta get this flying son of a bee.
No, bad.
Gotta get this flying son of a bee.
I got it.
Nice.
All right, everybody want to get close to me,
Why can't I leave?
and I will do a mass heal.
I'm here.
So yeah, I mean, like it does automatically pick it. If you've got clips, I think it uses those clips from that VOD. It uses clips as the starting point.
No, you got arrows sticking out of you.
Oh, I got a skeleton.
A skeleton?
Yeah, a skeleton.
A skeleton.
Wrecked me.
Gotta get this flying.
So yeah, I'll look through these later, but you get the idea there. It's it's interesting because again, it makes them into vertical clips that I can then share on any social without having to wade through VODs or scrub through them or anything like that. That was probably the most
legit.
What's that?
Yeah, that's a legit thing to use.
Yeah, I was like, holy crap. And what I've seen from other services that do this is that you have to pay for the amount of minutes that the VOD is. So if you want their AI to analyze, not this one, not Cut Labs, but if you want other ones I've seen, you have to upload the VOD and then you have to pay for X amount of time of processing. So if your VOD is 5 hours, then you know, a lot of times they only give you like 10 hours for a ridiculous price amount of processing. So this doesn't care how long your VOD is. This is $9 a month, I think.
Okay, that's not too shabby. That'd be worth it. That's actually way worth it. I didn't
pay for it, so I'm not sure. I looked at it before I did it, but I think it was $9. It's either $7 or $9. I don't know. Can you go and not be signed in? It will tell you.
I'll just go look at it right now.
Yeah, cutlabs.ai. Excuse me.
Oh, die.
No, I'm not dying. It's like once every few hours. But it's also one of the few times that this chair has not been copacetic for my breathing.
Oh, you had a weird angle or something?
Yeah, I'm tilted back. So it's like... So yeah, this was probably the most interesting thing I saw there. There was another one that I saw that I have the card for somewhere and I need to find it. But I think it was called Frames, and they're still in stealth launch, but they are a brand new streaming software company, and they're building AI into the streaming software so that it will recognize the game you're playing and what you're doing in the game. And then they're going to build interaction points to where devs can use the API for the streaming software to hook up different things, interactions with the chat. And that's all going to be possible through the actual streaming software.
Wow.
And they are building it to have, like TikTok Live Studio, both landscape and portrait simultaneously. But they said they're only 2 months old at this point.
Wow.
And I said, hey,
that's pretty good.
I do this Sunday streamer tech support thing. You want to come and talk to people about it? We'll be happy to have you on. So, did you find it, Jimmy?
Yeah, I'm signing in. It's making me answer these questions and stuff. So,
Ken, what's up? Welcome in. Not our Ken, different one. Ken Faza Curly, or Ken Fazakerly, or Ken Faza Curly. Man, I will also tell you, had a great conversation with an energy drink guy, and I found out at the end I was talking to the CEO, and man, they had me try the samples of the stuff, and it was not good. Like none
I don't know
of
if
them.
they've ever tasted an energy drink that was good.
Like I guess Gamer Subs.
Yeah, I'm not.
Gamer Subs is actually really close to being good. Like, I would say it is the closest thing to good that I've ever tasted, which is probably why they sell through the roof and all that stuff. But man, this was like not even. And I was like, do I say something? Or do I just nod and continue polite conversation until I leave? And I was like, in my younger years, I would have totally been like, hey, you got to do something about this taste because it's kind of bad.
Yeah, I find it to be chalky most of the time with energy drinks.
This was both chalky and not tasting good.
So you were right on both cases. So if you want to do per month subscription, it's $9. If you want to do a yearly subscription, it's $7 per month.
I see. But it looks like you can process up to, I think it was, let me see here.
10
1,
hours.
2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, I got 5 VODs out of it today.
So it does, for the free version, it gives you up to 10 hours of processing.
What does it say for the paid?
No, and there's a watermark on the free one.
Mm.
So the creator, it takes off the watermark, unlimited clip download, 6 video submissions per day.
6. Okay. Yeah, I wasn't sure if I did 5 or 6. Yep.
And 1080p rendering.
And you can edit the captions if it gets something wrong.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, no, you can't. I've done it.
It also has unlimited channel auto clipping, so at least it'll auto clip unlimited.
Yep. So I really think this is these guys are early too, and I think this is probably like the most interesting thing I saw the whole time.
It's weird. If you pay per year, you get access to beta.
Well, yeah, because
features.
you're committing more money up front.
Yeah.
With the yearly. I wonder what the library does. Oh, that's where my favorites are. I see. Oh, and there's all the ones I've downloaded so far. I see. I haven't even explored the whole thing. I was literally like, ooh, start chopping up stuff, please.
See, this is what AI should be used for.
I 100% agree. Although, to be fair, this is taking jobs away from an editor doing this stuff too.
True. That is true.
So it's like, but.
Or it could be a tool for an editor if they.
It could be, right? And that's one of the things this is where you go, okay, as an editor, do you then utilize this tool as part of your services? That would seem like it's a yes to me rather than looking through every clip. But I don't feel like it's there yet. Like it's not always a perfect cut.
Yeah.
But at least it gets you in the ballpark of something interesting going on. And then you can just back it up and get as much as you want of it. So yeah, I'm pretty pleased with it so far. I just added 6 in here today to kind of see how it did with different types of content. And so far I've been pretty pleased. So.
Because that would take a lot of the brainless, like drone on content that a editor would have to deal with.
It is literally like
every second of footage.
It is literally like the thing that haunts me is I do not have time to edit. And Matt's biting his tongue right now saying, but you have all the time in the world, Mark. You have time vortex technology.
He does.
No, I don't.
Only when he watches anime.
Well, yeah.
That's the problem. It's anime powered.
But I also don't have to use my brain for that. Which is really true. I'm trying to think if there was... Okay, so I do need to do the big reveal here. So I found one thing, and I did live stream it, but I think Matt will understand this most of all. I really, really tried really hard not to buy anything at TwitchCon. Obviously, that didn't work, from the $60 worth of tokens that I had, among other things. But that being said, I did do a pretty good job in restraining myself from not buying everything I saw that I wanted. But one of the things I saw that I immediately was like, damn it, take my money. was this. Since it's coming at the beginning of the year for Magic anyways, I saw this and I'm like, you mother truckers.
Yeah.
And it's Final Fantasy VII Remake sprites. And I'm like,
Yep.
I hate you guys so much. And then I left my wallet there. And
Like,
I had
literally forgot your wallet.
literally forgot my wallet there. I haven't done that in like
Take all my money.
in like 20 years, 30 years. I can't remember the last time I've left my wallet somewhere. So eventually they were like, hey, hi, Wicked. How are you doing? Welcome in. Eric Mills, welcome in. King Chucks, welcome in. So yeah, I left my wallet there and I was in one of the sessions and somebody was blowing up my texts and calling me. And I'm like, WTF, I don't know this number. I don't, they'll leave a voicemail or whatever. And then I check the voicemail and they're like, you left your wallet here? I'm like, oh my God, I'm a giant idiot. And then I beeline back upstairs to try and get it. Excuse me. So yeah, luckily they had it. No harm, no foul. Nothing, thank God. But I was like, get it together, Mark. Because I was literally walking out the door to the con when I finally checked my phone there. But yes, this was
That is awesome.
more money than I should spend. But at the same time, I have never seen a mat like this. And I was like, I am a Final Fantasy whore. And Final Fantasy Magic cards will look great on this battle mat. Now all I have to do is pump in the music in the background and we'll be good.
Get the soundtrack from Remake and Rebirth.
Yeah, I won't be able to do that for copyright reasons, but I'll find something. But yes.
I'm gonna start thinking of deck boxes for that. And like counters and stuff.
If they don't have like Shinra and Seed tokens in that set, what are they doing with themselves? No, wait, not Seed. Oh, my brain. Seed's 8. 7's
Avalanche?
Avalanche. Shinra and Avalanche. Yeah, tokens.
I thought you were going to tell me it was a hybrid 7/8 deck. I'd be like, that's kind of wild.
I mean, I would do that if they did that. Did you see the Marvel leaks, Matt, for the cards?
No.
Oh, it's in the Magic the Gathering Discord thing. Let me pull it up here.
Okay.
These were found on a board, on a Facebook board. Here, let me pull up the screen 1 second. This is gonna be more close up. There we go. There we go.
Wow.
So this guy's gonna be in so much trouble. I think these were New York Comic Con exclusives that haven't been given out yet.
Oh.
So they had Black Panther, Iron Man, Wolverine, and Cap. Cap's mechanics are stupid interesting. Do you know how to read a Magic card?
I mean, I used to.
Okay.
I don't know that I do anymore.
So Cap's red, white, and blue. Hilarious. One of each. He's a 4/4, which is really strong for 3. And then his ability is you pay 3 mana and throw an attached equipment at among any number of creatures or 3 targets. I think it says, wait, hold on, what does this say? I'm trying to read the line under the glare.
Equal
Yeah,
to
you're in the way.
something divided as you choose among.
Oh, 1, 2,
something
or 3 targets.
Oh,
1, 2, or 3 is what it says. Oh, I see. I'm in the way. My bad. I can't really move it. So let's say you've got like some piece of equipment to him, and it's the mana value is like 3, right? So you could throw it and have it do 1 damage to 3 different targets, or 1 damage to one, 2 damage to another, or 3 to 1 target. And then at the beginning of combat on your turn, you just get to attach 1 target equipment you control to Captain America for free. So you better believe there's going to be a Mjolnir that you'll be able to build into a deck with him where he just attaches it and then you can pay 3 to throw it.
That's sweet. That'll be sweet.
It's, of all the ones, I do not like Captain America, but that's a hell of an interesting mechanic for like Ken Samurai deck.
What's the Wolverine one? Hold on.
Wolverine, the best there is. Red, green, and 1 other. Double all damage Wolverine would deal. At the beginning of each end step, if Wolverine dealt damage to another creature this turn, put a +1/+1 counter on him. And you can regenerate him for 1 green and 1 other.
Damn. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh,
That's pretty slick. I like that.
He's pretty solid. He's only a 2/2. But
yeah, but I mean, you can regenerate.
but once you get that plus up,
but also double all damage. So there's
I
that.
could almost see him being a good Voltron with the regenerate and
Yeah. Iron
or even
Man.
Cap too.
Iron Man's 5, so I think he's the most expensive one here. Flying and 4/4 flying in haste. Genius Industrialist. Whenever Iron Man attacks, create a treasure token. Then if you may sacrifice a non-creature artifact. If you do, search your library for an artifact card with mana value equal to 1 plus the sacrificed artifact's mana value.
Ooh,
Put it in the battlefield tapped, and then shuffle.
a new artifact commander.
He's red.
Yeah, but there's a bunch of artifact cards that are red that I can't use in my.
Hey, you could make a new deck with him.
Yeah,
I mean,
I wouldn't dismount my current artifact.
no. I wouldn't either. And the interesting thing is he is considered an artifact creature and a human.
Might go in the artifact deck though.
Well, no, because it's red. Because we don't have red.
Red. Damn it. Yeah.
Yeah,
Damn it.
that's why I was looking at that. I'm like, another search. Yes, please. Oh, red. Damn it. And then Black Panther is a white and a green for a 2/2 with first strike. Survey the realm. Whenever Black Panther or another creature you control enters, put a +1/+1 counter on target land you control. Mine Vibranium. I think it's a 3 cost.
Yeah, 3.
Move all +1/+1 counters from target land you control onto target creature. If 1 or more +1/+1 counters are moved this way, you gain that much life and draw a card. No limit.
Now that makes sense. It's color scheme. I thought he would at least have black in his color because of Black
No.
Panther,
No. And the best part about it, he is a human and he is under 3 power. So for white weenie decks, he fits.
Interesting.
I swear to God. If I
Have
do.
they shown the Final Fantasy ones yet?
No. No, I wish. At least I don't think so. Because I don't think it releases until February.
What is this supposed to release?
Like
was it?
June, I think. That's why this was such a surprise. But also this guy stole these and wasn't supposed to have them.
Pretty cool though.
Yeah.
I like the Wolverine one. That That seems like a fun one that I could do a Voltron with.
I mean, they all seem super interesting. I would want to do a Voltron with Cap personally.
Yeah, Cap too. That's another one I was gonna say because you could remove them by throwing them, which is an interesting concept.
And I mean, there's that 10 cost hammer. You just equip it to him for free and then pay 3 to throw it. And it does 10 damage to something. It's hilarious. I don't think there has been anything on the Final Fantasy stuff whatsoever. If there was, it'd be on the MTG wiki. Oh. Did either of you guys watch one of the only things I watched while I was at TwitchCon was I watched Asmongold react to a video about the new Assassin's Creed.
Nope.
No, I didn't see that.
My brain. YouTube. Husband and Japanese wife, Assassin's Creed trailer breakdown. I think this is it. Yes. No. Is that it? Hi, Naughty Go.
Blurk. Playing Blurk sound.
Still muted.
Using 100 Twitch channel points.
I'm muted Harlem Shake because I'm still not 100%, but thank you. Yeah, I think this is it.
Narakalove 123. Hello and good night.
Have a good night, Naughty Go. So here, we'll put it up here like this because it's just like some of the things they catch are absolutely like I would have never caught it looking at it like this. So it's it's a American husband with a Japanese wife, and so she's looking at it from a non-gamer aspect, but also the Japanese aspect of it.
2 weeks ago. Let's see what it's all about. It's got 11K likes and 19 million dislikes. Amazing. They are on top of the world right now. Right after Star Wars Outlaws, where the title is Outlaws, but you can't do anything that an actual outlaw would do. Great follow-up, guys. Amazing job. Let's see what this is about. Tumble.
It's stuff like this. Right away, she says, hey, that rice field that's right next to a river would flood instantly, and you'd lose all the rice. And it's like, oh, well, you know, that's... You start this video going, okay, but that's, you know, okay, sure.
Video games.
Right. But it's not going to be, like, indicative of what the rest of the game is like, right? And then they go through and it's like, these armor sets don't exist for the time period that they're supposed to be in. They don't have permission to use the family crests that they're using of these different things. And again, parts don't exist. And then, I'm trying to see, there was another thing. Oh, they're pointing out that, you know, most of these guards would not have a fancy spear. They'd have a straight wooden one with barely any metal on it because it was cheaper and for that time. And then a lot of effect stuff where like they have snow on every other part of the body, but for some reason not the head. Almost everywhere in the trailer.
Interesting.
There are some video game logic things that they point out, like having a roof with a trap door on it like this would not be a thing. And
Right.
that's fine.
It's just games, yeah.
But then there's stuff like this one. I know on TikTok it's going to be real hard to see, but do you see the door back here?
This doesn't go all the way down.
That doesn't go all the way down. And this is in the trailer they put out.
Must have had some collision issues. And they're just like, screw it, we're just going to put a gap at the bottom of the door.
And they were talking about the historical fact that maps were like gold and you wouldn't leave them out.
Yeah, but
Which
I mean,
I'm like video games. That
video
one's I'm
games,
like
yeah.
video games. Yeah.
That's a video movie. I mean, a lot of things. I mean, like Ghost of Tsushima, even as good as that game was, there's a ton of historical inaccuracies in it. The sword type he's using is wrong. The armor type they have is wrong. I mean,
The map is
There's-
Google Maps.
oh man,
They literally put up a map from that period, and it looks nothing like the Google map that they used for the map. And then oh yeah, this is probably like the most hilarious one. They're like, he's writing on this backwards. All the ink will have absorbed in to the paper, and so when you roll it, it's going to ruin the entire scroll. And plus he's writing so big that it's really weird, which I was laughing at because, you know, they were trying to just explain that side of it. And then when you come and you look at the action sequences that they do, oh yeah, you can see the katana sticking out of the sheath, and it's shorter than the sheath is.
Mm-hmm.
And that's like present throughout the trailer, which is crazy. Excuse me. And this was one of the interesting things. They pointed out a logical fallacy that they're like, oh, you can play the game however you want, right? You can play it either as the strongman or you can play it as the stealthy ninja, right?
right.
And then they literally show this gameplay session to where the ninja gets just bodied. And they say, you will have to switch to the other character to defeat some bosses. I'm like, then what's the point of having the two characters? But this was the interesting one for me. This guy up here on the top right, you can see him up here. He's shooting a gun. But also, notice the door with no stairs.
Well, there's stairs over.
Oh, you'll see it. You'll see it from another angle here in a minute. But also these bullets are near the guy shooting the gun, and they stay there for the entire gameplay session. Yeah, she's giving him a hug from the inside. There you go. So where are these stairs going exactly?
To that platform, which is kind of sort of near the door.
And then you've got these doors, which lead apparently to your death on the outside of the wall.
Oh, yeah, those are doors there? I guess it's where you just fall.
Yeah. I mean, like, how do you even get up to this platform?
Yeah, there's you jump.
I mean,
Man, it's just there. It's just there.
Hit me up that 4x4 there.
意味あるその階段。
Whatever that is.
It doesn't go to anything.
だってさ、こ
What
れ
is this?
荷物運んでこっち側にさ、トゥルって落ちちゃうよ。
Are you kidding me?
if you were carrying something out that door, you just fall to your death on the way out. That is what she's saying in Japanese. It's hilarious.
何これどこに向かって撃つん
And now she's saying, why is this platform even here? Are you shooting ships with it? So yeah, it doesn't look very good in terms of usually when there's a lot of errors like that, that's indicative to me of how the finished product's going to be, which is probably why they held off till February.
Hello, my friends, and welcome to.
Also, I think they might be holding off till February to get lost in all the games releases there, because I heard their pre-order numbers for it were not good, and they're releasing it on Steam now, which means that they're abandoning their own launcher for the 30% cut from Steam.
Yeah.
Which is a little surprising, at least for me.
Yeah, it's surprising, but I think we've passed the launcher saturation, right? So I mean,
Oh yeah, I agree wholeheartedly on that. Wholeheartedly. Let me go back to this one. There we go. Yeah, I think it's pretty interesting. Any news that you guys saw that you want to talk about? Gaming news? Magic news? Before we call it a stream?
think here.
I know the new Zelda game's coming out, right?
It's out. I think it's out. I think it came out this week.
I thought it came out today.
It might have been today. This week sometime. I know that much. I'm still playing 7 Rebirth, so the only game I'm going to play this year, I'm pretty certain.
U.S. court states Marvel and DC have lost their superhero trademark.
Do you see the Ghostbuster magic cards coming out?
I have no chance of getting them, and they're Slimer ones, so I'm not that interested.
They got the crew ones too.
Oh, they do?
Yeah.
Oh,
there's 2 sets.
I did not see those.
I think the big thing was there was obviously the PS5 Pro and the PS5 30-year anniversary edition stuff launched yesterday. Pre-order stuff launched yesterday.
I say this with all the respect for Sony in the world. I don't get who these are for.
Number chasers.
I guess.
I mean, the retro ones or the 30th anniversary ones are playing nostalgia card, right? I mean,
right. That I kind of get a little bit, but it's like even so. I mean, yeah, okay. If you want one that looks like a PlayStation 1, kind of, sure, a giant PlayStation 1 with better curves. But it's like, I don't know, man. I play in 4K, 60 frames a second. And yes, I know that it's up-res 4K, but it looks damn good to me.
Yeah. I look at these articles, they're like, oh, finally, maybe Final Fantasy VII Rebirth won't look like garbage. And I'm like, are we playing the same game?
No, because damn.
So yeah, I mean, I know a handful of people that have a pre-order in. And I'm not that willing to separate with $700 for something I won't notice.
That's what I'm saying. It's like, okay, if I had an 8K TV, sure. But I don't. And I probably won't for many years.
Lucky Square's out. If you have
yes
Extra or Premium, then you've got that included in your sub.
Have you played it yet?
I have not. As I said, I've been playing Final Fantasy and Astrobot. I've been playing Astrobot too.
Which looks like a charming game.
Oh, it's amazing. I mean, if you played the free thing that came, I mean, it's that cranked to 11, right? I mean, it's that game. It just looks prettier, and there's a lot wider variety of levels.
Which looks prettier is hard to believe.
Yeah, which I didn't think it did until I went back and looked. Oh no, there's like a lot more detail to everything there's depth to the stuff in Astrobot that isn't in Astro's Playground. And when I say depth, I mean like there's texturing stuff that's there. There's reflections that aren't in the original and stuff. So it's got a little extra zing to it. But there's six world hubs, right? It's set up like an old school action game or adventure game, right? You got 6 different hubs with levels in them, and when you complete the main part of each hub, it unlocks a PlayStation themed level, where you get a gimmick that's related to whatever game. Let me pick. I hate picking example because I haven't done them all, but one that's probably not going to be in there. Let's say, well, I'll use a Nintendo property because that's obviously not there. So, one of them was a Super Mario World. You get fireballs, right? And so that's a thing you can do, but you can only do in that level. Is you have fireballs, but they're all PlayStation themed. So obviously they're going to be things surrounding PlayStation, and some of those levels are just. I mean, all the levels I've played are really great, but the PlayStation themed ones that I've played so far are amazing, right? They're just next level up on those. So, yeah, Astrobot's a great little thing. I'm going really slow on it because my wife wants to watch as I play, so we get to play whenever we both have time to sit down and do that. So I'm taking my time with it. But Mitchell platinumed it already.
I did watch the first 2 episodes of Agatha all along.
Yeah, we just watched episode 3 right before the stream.
Oh, is it out? Oh, I'll have to go.
Yeah, it's every Wednesday. So yeah.
I'm how do I say this? It almost feels like season 3 of WandaVision in a way. Season 3?
Yeah, 2.
Yeah,
but
is it 2? Was there only one season?
Yeah. There was only one season.
Oh man, so much happened in that season.
Yeah, so much happened in one season. Because when it breaks from the show format to what comes after, it kind of feels like 2 separate seasons.
It does. That's why I was thinking it had to be 2 seasons. Yeah.
No.
This does feel like season 2, and that's not a bad thing, in my opinion.
Not, and the writing's been really good. The acting's been really good. I'm a little not super plussed with the way Agatha's acting, and not the actress is portraying her, but the character themselves is behaving. But you know that I think there's stuff that's leading up here. But I mean, like especially this last episode, tons of practical effects.
Good.
You know, lots of set changes and stuff. So there was a lot of things just done with lighting and color filters and stuff. That's pretty amazing to just watch. And I'm sure if you're watching with a more critical eye, I'm sure there's problems. I watch things for enjoyment. So as long as I can enjoy it,
right.
I'm good.
Also, I guess the other thing that we should talk about is Magic Commander kind of imploding this week.
That still stinks.
Does that work?
So here's the thing. Commander is a format that is supposed to be non-competitive, right? They do have competitive, but as a whole, it is labeled as a non-competitive format. And for a very long time, the rules committee, who chooses what rules to enforce or change, what cards to ban or not ban, have basically laid the onus of deciding whether cards are, like, for example, Jimmy and I both play with 2 banned cards. We each have the same banned card in our deck. And the banned card is called the Tolarian Academy. And you tap it and you get 1 blue mana for each artifact you control. I argue there is a green card called Gaia's Cradle that is worth like 9 times the value of a Tolarian Academy that does the same thing. You tap it and you get 1 green for each creature you control. Gaia's Cradle is a $900 card and is not banned. Tolarian Academy is a $75 card and it is banned. That does not make sense to me. It's because they do the exact same thing with specific conditions. So basically that's called Rule 0, right? Anybody that wants to come and play with us, we have that conversation of, hey, we don't play with toxic or poison, right? We don't do land destruction decks. You know, that's the conversation we have before anybody plays with us.
Right.
And for years, for the last 3 years, as a matter of fact, there have been 0 ban cards. There have been no major changes from the rules committee. Well, this week, they banned 3 of the most expensive mana producing cards there are. 2 of them are what are called 0 cost mana cards, which they cost 0, so you can just play them for free, and they do something. One of them is specifically only for a commander format, and literally it says you can only play this in commander format. So now that they've banned it, it does nothing.
Right.
And it was, and the other one was worth $180. I mean, that one is, what was Jewel up to? You know, Jimmy?
I think it was just over a hundo.
Yeah. And
Jeweled Lotus, is that what it was?
Yeah, Jeweled Lotus. The third one that they banned is called Dockside Extortionist. It's a goblin. And it's $100 card. I literally, for Christmas, my wife gave me $100 to spend on a Magic card, and I bought a Dockside Extortionist. And so, you know, that I only have the Dockside Extortionist, but Jimmy has a Mana Crypt. And do you have a Jeweled Lotus? You don't, do you?
I do have a Jeweled Lotus.
Oh, man.
I don't have the expensive one. I have the...
Okay. Do you have the Dockside too?
I have the Dockside.
Oh my God. So you got triple ding. Jesus Christ.
Yeah, I have it in my dragon deck.
So that's literally like probably...
I got the trifecta, yeah.
$350.
And
like $400 worth of cards that were just nullified by the rules committee.
I didn't pay that much, but yes.
Right.
Hello, hello.
I think I paid... Well, I got the Jeweled Lotus in one of my Brothers War collector's pack.
1 second. Nova Galactic, thank you so much for the sub re-up. How are you doing? Happy Friday. We were just going over TwitchCon stuff, and now we're going over the how do we feel about the ban? Man, we're getting there. We were talking about the ban. We haven't gotten to how we feel about it yet. But Jimmy lost like immediately like $480 worth of cards, somewhere in that neighborhood, I think.
So I got the Jeweled Lotus in a boosters pack, so I don't know how you would.
Yeah, I know, but go for what its value was before the ban, because that was, I think it was the equity of the card.
150.
Okay. And then 180 for Mana Crypt, so that's
no, it was 280. 280.
So
I got it for $80, and it was at its peak. It was 280,
and Dockside was holding around 100.
Yeah, I don't remember what I got for the Dockside.
And
I purchased that one.
Their argument was that fast free mana. Dockside does something similar, by the way, Matt. When you put it into play, you get a treasure token, which treasure tokens you tap and sacrifice them to get 1 mana of any color. So it counts all the artifacts at the table. It can be very high or it can be very low. But the point is like it could theoretically enable you to do some really early high cost shenanigans. And they were saying we're banning these because the state of the game is better without them. Because if theoretically you had both of these, or one of these and a mana rock, or one of these and a soul ring, you could on turn 2 have 5 mana to bring out a commander, which is a big deal in Commander. And I agree with that. However, these, I agree that it would be a better thing if they hadn't been in circulation for so many years. Right? If this was something that they had just done and was course correcting now, okay. But these are all established cards in the Commander universe, and people buy multiple copies to go in multiple decks, and you've just eliminated their fun. And most people are going to ignore the rule anyways and just go back to rule 0. So why do it in the first place? Because what you're actually doing is undermining the authority and the rules of the rules committee. Not because I don't like the bans, but because people have invested a bunch of money in these. Like Poor Plagues just bought a Mana Crypt.
Yeah, I forgot about that. That's ouch.
I think he spent
got
like
the expensive one.
Yeah, he got the expensive one too.
So, the bans
I got
themselves
the
are not
classic
necessarily bad, but no one had the forethought regarding the potential profit losses. I think most
You got the
people are
original
upset
Mana
about the
or
financial
Mana
loss
Crypt, yeah.
rather than the ban
He didn't
because
get
we
the-
can rule 0 it.
Full screen art. He got the.
Yeah. Nova says, so
Which
the
is-
bans themselves are not necessarily bad, but no one had the forethought regarding the potential profit losses. I think most people are upset about the financial loss rather than the ban because we can rule 0 it. Which means why do the bans in the first place, right? I think they knew exactly what they were doing. In fact, one of the guys from the CAG, which is the Commanders, what is it? It's basically Commander Advisory Guild, who's a big YouTuber. He wrote that the CAG, which normally gets advance warning about this stuff, like long-term advance warning, they were kept out of it. They were locked out of this decision because they didn't want leaks. And it showed in their thought processes that they did consider the financial loss, which he resigned, by the way, from the CAG because I guess he was pretty mad that they didn't, why have the advisory group if you're not going to go to them, which I agree with. I think this was a dumb move. I don't think it's dumb because if we lived in a vacuum where there were no prices, 100% ban all these cards, but to also ban Soul Ring, by the way, which they didn't do, yet they admitted that Soul Ring is a staple of the thing. Well, these other ones are staples too. So either make the ban complete and ban all of them. What they should have done was ban Dockside and whatever the creature was, because the creature is a completely separate conversation. There was a fourth card that we're not talking about. But the short form is ban one of them, see what the reaction is from the community, see how that goes, like Dockside, right? And see how that affects the metagame. And then eventually do the others if it's still being abused. But at this point, I think Mana Crypt and Jeweled Lotus are maybe Jeweled Lotus, not so much. But Mana Crypt is very much ingrained as a staple in the game as well. And so it's like pick a lane and go with it. Either ban them all, including Soul Ring, or ban none of them. And because of exactly what you said at the end, people are just going to rule 0 it and not care what the ban list is. I think that that's
bans are only ever effective if you're playing official, right? I mean,
right.
There's tons of games I played of different things that we use banned cards or whatever because we're doing it for fun. We're not doing it to get ready to go to a tournament or something, right?
Yeah.
Is it really going to affect the cost, especially if everybody's just going to keep doing it?
Already
anyway?
has. Like
why?
What I know, Mana Crypt fell past the.
I'll tell you actually. At least the one I got. I don't remember which one Plagues got.
So, I mean, I guess it's tough for the sellers, great for the buyers.
I think Mana Crypt is the only thing that is still a decent price.
Would have had to pay. I don't know. Seems like it's kind of short-sighted. If people are just going to keep buying them and they're going to keep using them anyway, then why would that affect the price?
So Jeweled Lotus, just a straight normal one, from Commander's Masters was hovering around $90, and it is now 40.
So mine peaked at 275 and now is worth 144. So pretty much half.
Yeah, and the ones that had been like the normal ones that were not like Jimmy's were sitting around 180, and I'm seeing them for 45 right now.
Didn't he have the retro one, like the old school looking one?
I don't know.
That was like, I think that one's worth more than mine. Oh no, it's about the same. It was 235 and now is worth, well, it's still retained better than mine. It's 218 now.
Oh, sorry, that $40 one just sold 85 now. So that's a little better, but still that's like $100 worth of value just gone.
Yeah,
thank you for liking the stream and sharing it. Wicked, I appreciate that. Welcome in, Evelyn K. Don't forget to like, share, and say something in the stream if you would. That helps us with the algorithm.
Time to buy some excellent collectors.
Time to buy some excellent collectors. Yeah, I think it is a dumb idea because I hate to say it, but there are, in my opinion, I know they don't I know they don't segregate between competitive EDH and casual EDH. I mean, they do, but they don't have different lists for them. But this is one of the few times I think they should have. I really think it's a bad idea, just across the board. I don't. If we lived in a vacuum where there was no price stuff, I would have no problem with this whatsoever. I just think doing something like this that affects the economy of the aftermarket so dramatically is a dumb move. Because
I think there's other cards that are worse off than what they banned.
In my opinion, when I look at this, it really makes me want to say to everyone, just print proxies. Because you're no longer kind of guaranteed the value of your cards.
Yeah.
And that's a dumb move from them.
They're going to lose a lot of collectors doing stuff like that.
To create the instability in the market like that. When they have not done any of this for the last 3 years. And I mean, Mana Crypt's been around for how many years? Like a lot of years.
What did they ban before? What was the previous ban?
For Commander?
Yeah. I just feel like Mana Crypt it does 3 damage to you. You have the potential, you're taking a risk playing that card.
Yeah, and they said that was the strongest case for not banning it. But they were still saying that fast mana in general is a bad. It makes the overall state unfun because anyone who has fast mana can't keep, or other players cannot keep up with it. And I get that to a point. But again, the amount of fun that they are creating by doing this ban is not necessarily...
Viewer to play devil's advocate. Realistically, it's only 3 cards out of 100 card decks.
Sure, and there will be other cards that people use, and I get that. But I think the thing that they didn't consider is that the amount of fun that they are bringing to the table by banning these cards is not necessarily a higher number than the amount of fun from leaving them in. That's the kind of trade-off that I see there. I don't know that banning these cards makes the entire state of the game more fun in reality. And then when you add the
No
financial stuff on the
Vagalati.
top of that, I think it's a bad
Agreed.
idea. I totally get the argument. I get the argument. And like I said, if there was a vacuum that the world lived in where there was no financial stuff, sure. But at the end of the day,
What's happened in the other formats all the time, right? Because I mean, other competitive formats have cards banned like left and right.
Yeah.
Usually, I mean, so this is no different. It's just this ban list is more of a suggestion. So I don't even see why it has any effect at all. This is
it will have no effect on our games.
right. And
if I run like a tournament on the channel, right, people are going to be able to use these cards because that's
Right.
what Rule 0 is for.
which is what gets me like, why did this have any effect at all? Because at best, these are suggestions, right?
Well,
They're
no,
not true ban.
No, it
There's
is.
nobody out there enforcing it.
Yeah, they're local game stores. If you go to play an official Commander game at an LGS that is, part of Wizard system, then those bans are on the table.
Right. Okay. Those. Yeah. Yeah.
The problem with that,
official, right?
the problem with that is like, I don't think it. I don't.
Pretty slow.
Yeah, I don't think it benefits them at all. All it does is piss people off.
Yeah.
And it's not
Yeah.
like Jewel Lotus was a mistake in the first place. Should have never been printed. But it was done and it was there for years. If you were going to ban it immediately after it comes out before people start spending $90 on it. Right? And they didn't do that. And so now it's like, okay, are you going to take green land spells out next, right, for ramping, for getting more mana than you are supposed to have on your turn? Where's the line here? Because those things recreate a lot of the Wait, what did I say the name of our band card was? Oh yeah, Tellurian Academy. There it is. But Guy's Cradle's not. It's so dumb. I don't get it.
I kind of get it because the creatures can be artifacts too. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like,
you're only making a point for why they should ban Guy's Cradle and not Tellurian Academy. It's the same
I'm
thing.
just saying.
I'm
just saying.
It's so weird. Like, looking at it from the power of what the card does, I don't get the difference, like, at all.
It's a slight buff. It's a slight buff over Guy's Cradle, but not much. And it's only really OP for one deck, which is artifact decks.
But yeah, that's the short version of it. I don't see a thing that shows what the last banned cards were from. Only the full list. I'll have to see if I can find some reference for that. But yeah,
Did have one other news thing.
Go for it.
So I assume you guys watched, or at least you, Mark, watched the State of Play this week.
I did.
So there were several notable things in there, but just hit on a couple. Fantasian Neo Dimension is a new JRPG from Mistwalker. If you know your history, that is Hironobu Sakaguchi, who is the father of PlayStation, Final Fantasy.
Yeah. And he got Nobuo Uematsu to do the soundtrack.
And about to do the soundtrack, and it's being published by Square Enix. The first time he's gone back to Square since leaving, and Yoshi P is acting as producer. So that got a trailer in there. There was also a game, Hell is Us, which was a
I did see that.
very disturbing, interesting looking thing. They had a really good demo of Dragon Age: The Veil Guard.
So
They really learned from that botched first thing they did.
Oh
but,
my god, yeah. But I have actually heard from people who have been playing that they are very pleasantly surprised with it.
Yeah.
I have watched some of the early gameplay stuff, and I just shake my head. Why is there no multiplayer?
Yeah.
But that's it. But please continue. I'm sorry.
Soul Reaver 1 and 2 remake combo pack is coming out, which we're waiting to see if maybe there was a Blood Omen going to be packed in with that. It's not, but it was announced that it's coming as part of the Classics collection to PlayStation Plus Extra. So if you have that subscription, you'll be able to play the original Blood Omen Legacy of Kain through that. Presumably it will have the similar graphical and trophy upgrades and stuff, but that was not confirmed.
I love that game. I would love to play it.
Guys.
Good night, Tom. Have a good evening.
I've actually never played it, but
what?
I have to go back and
it's one of my favorite games from the PlayStation era. Like it's the Wild Arms for me.
Right. Which, still doesn't have anything. But another JRPG did have another release announcement, and that was Lunar Connection. I can talk. So that's got both Silver Star and Blue, whatever the blue one was. Can't remember the name of it. Together in one collection, so you'll be able to pick that up soon. I still think the Horizon Adventures Lego game looks pretty freaking fun, but also they finally announced the actual remaster that everyone thought was, oh, that was just the Lego game. Nope, there is actually a Horizon Zero Dawn remaster coming out with a bunch of redone stuff in it. So that's sounding like it's a pretty good thing. And if you own the original, you can get the remaster for $10. I haven't seen yet if that includes disc and downloaded version or if it's only one or the other. Most of them have worked with disc in the past if you own the disc. So I'm assuming that one will. I wasn't sure if this one had been announced before and this was just a new trailer or if this was the first announcement for it, but I don't track Monster Hunter news, but Monster Hunter Wilds had a good trailer in there. I don't play Monster Hunter, but it seemed like it was hunters and monsters in the wild.
Yep.
And all that stuff was going on there. And then they capped off the show with a trailer announcement for a brand new game.
Which is another reason that Assassin's Creed got pushed.
But we got Ghost of Yotai announced, which is the sequel to Ghost of Tsushima. Ghost of Tsushima is one of my favorite games of the last two generations. Technically, it's a PS4 game.
300 years in the future.
From there, yep. Another Ghost game from Sucker Punch. Looking super forward to that. That'll be definitely a pickup for me. There was some other stuff in there too. So, if you go back and look at every news outlet's got their, analysis. They shadow dropped Pal World on PlayStation 5.
They did
during the show.
They did. Which Lexi saw and was like, how do we get that? And I'm like, I will get a job. That's how we'll get it.
And then, the other thing that I wanted to mention, Stellar Blade is getting a Nier Automata crossover.
It sure is.
So that's that's probably enough to actually make me find a way to get Stellar Blade. Which I'm sure is the exact point of that.
Tokyo Game Show is going on right now, and let me. So the Suikoden HD remaster, the 1 and 2. They put out a new trailer and apparently announced a fast forward option and optional streamlined combat mode that only requires a single button press in order to cut through all that old school RPG grinding. So that's not bad.
That's cool.
Apparently,
I think that's kind of the cool thing too, is like, as much as I want to go back and play like Final Fantasy 1,
Uh-huh.
there's stuff I just do not want to put up with from that game, right? You know, so it's
Yeah.
like I like it when they add things like, okay, here's your classic mode, you can play it 100% the way it was, and you can deal with all that stuff. Or hey, here's some modern conveniences because we know there's 10,000 games launched every week these days, and
Yep.
you don't get one game and it has to cover you for 2 years.
Apparently, Dragon Quest 3 is getting an HD 2D remake,
Oh, the
and
HD 2D remake.
and it's coming with an extra class that's entirely new called a Monster Wrangler that can learn enemy abilities, and then Final Fantasy 1 through 6 are now finally on Xbox. I guess I guess it's called Final Fantasy 1 through 6 Pixel Remaster.
Yeah, the Pixel remasters. Yeah, they've been out on various platforms for quite some time, but yeah, they hadn't come to Xbox. I'm actually really curious about the new Dynasty Warriors. I haven't played a Muso game in forever, and I just like to see how many enemies can you get on the screen at once with a PS5. Right?
I mean, it's a lot.
It's a lot,
and it's still boring, which is sad. Like, it's good for the first minute.
It's good for the first hour, and then you're like, oh, okay, well, we're just gonna do this some more.
Square Enix also announced a bunch of mana ports for the Xbox. Trials of Mana.
Oh yeah, I actually just saw a bunch hit Game Pass today. So
Legend of Mana remaster. Yeah. Looks like Square Enix had a big showing at TGS. So yeah, any news from you, Jimmy?
Just going deep delve into 3D modeling. I'm just trying to hone my craft on it. Really.
Did you did you see any of the Once Human updates?
No, what happened?
They've got a Tron car skin now.
Tron? Oh,
Tron.
Okay.
Yeah. Is real good. And
real good.
now they have a neon bar and an outside birthday celebration patio thing that look really good.
Oh, okay.
And then they
Nova Galactic. Any suggestions on a 3D printers?
Any suggestions on a 3D printer? Yeah, it's really going to come down to what your budget is and what kind.
What you want to.
Yeah, what you want to do with it. Because I do resin, but because I do resin, I don't get the large scale stuff that Jimmy does because he's using filament. But filament has come a long way.
Yes, and same with the filament printer. Really, same material, just way better software and hardware. If you're looking for, like, if you want to try minis and everything else, I would go with a filament. If you're looking for just minis, I would go for resin.
Yeah, if you're looking for a suggestion on a resin one, there are two things that I would recommend. The first one is the printer itself is what? Hold on. So here's the deal. It's one 3D printer sold by multiple Chinese companies. So the names change on it on a regular basis. So give me 1 second. The one I bought is no longer on Amazon, which means that they put an updated copy or an updated version of it and call it something else.
The only other limit with resin too is you have to have a pretty well ventilated area, right?
You do.
That's the one that's got the few.
And you'll need to buy a curing station that's almost as much as the
printer.
The printer.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry. Here.
If you're starting, I would definitely go with filament first, 100%. Because they're so good right now that you could still do minis. It's not going to be like as good as the with the resin, but it's pretty close.
Man, why are you not showing me? Holy crap, I can't believe this. Are you okay? My heart just stopped because the first entry that I saw was for $99 for the printer I have, but it's not. Okay, here it is. It's called here, I'll just copy the horrible Amazon link. Sorry about the horrible Amazon link. I'll just throw it in chat. It's called the Frozen Sonic Mighty 4K LCD 3D resin 3D printer.
I kinda wanted to try to make like figures and minis.
I'm mad
like
about this.
And larger size models.
I'm mad about this because that may or may not work. Oh yeah, it did. Okay, great. I'm mad about this because it looks like it is printing twice as large as the one that I have now for the same cost as what I bought for it. So this is a 7.9 by 4.9 by 8.7 tall. I think mine only goes to 4 inches tall. That's crazy good. And that's $350. But then you'll also want to pick up the, there's a curing station. They have an 8K one now for $485. That's interesting.
Wow. A 14K for 1,000? Holy mac. What's the...
Oh, no, Frozen has a 8K. What's the difference? Yeah, for $375. That's like $20 more than the one I just linked. Here, let me do this one instead, damn it. Oh. No, this one's much smaller print though. That other one's better. Even at a lower resolution. It'll be more than you need for most things. Yeah. Just keep in mind that the process is very different for both of them. If you go with a filament is from the ground up, right?
Yeah.
From the plate up. Yeah. Resin is the opposite. Resin is actually, you have a pool at the bottom. Don't touch it. It's toxic. And then the plate that lowers into the pool, and then it actually pulls the plate up and draws 1 millimeter at a time of resin. So it's actually drawing upside down. It's attached to the plate. Anyways, it's a process. It's a whole learning thing, but it is a lot of fun, but it does take a lot of patience.
Especially a filament one, because those are slower.
I think you're faster than mine. Mine's a super speedy one, and you still crank out like big projects.
I'm slowing it out.
Are you?
It down. I'm slowing it down.
So you get less
faster. Yeah. Well, if it goes faster, it's not as smooth and
that's true.
Looking.
That's true.
Nova Galactic.
So I slow it down to get the detail.
Interesting.
Yeah. So keep in mind, I would probably agree with Jimmy Julius. I would say go filament. Oh wait, if you don't mind sharing, Jimmy, how much did yours cost? If you do mind sharing, no worries.
Yeah, no, I can. I got mine on sale. It's originally $1,500 or $1,400.
Yeah.
I got mine, and that's with the AMS, which is the multi-filament color, so you can print multicolor with the AMS instead of just one. I got mine with the AMS for $1,200 on a I think it was some like holiday special or something, and it came with a bunch of filament free. But yeah, it's, if you want to buy it now, it's like $1,400.
Yeah, so it's really about what's your cost range, right? Because you can get cheaper filament ones, but there's a lot of considerations to it. Like if you want to be able to print more than one color, that's going to drive the price way up. Like there's ones that are like $399 for filament printers. The good side there is you're done, right? You buy the printer, you buy the filament, job done.
Yeah.
With the resin, you're going to end up paying probably a couple $100 more than the cost of the printer to get the drying and curing station to go with it. Because
not including sanitation stuff like gloves, masks.
Yeah, that's why I said a couple $100 more, because I think I want to say like the curing station's like another 130, 140. And then by the time you buy gloves and all that stuff, you're going to be around $200.
Here's the thing. You own a 3D printer. I have the feeling of if I want to go resin, I might just print a blank and just pour resin instead of print it.
Yeah, you could. And here's the other thing about this. This is why I was going this way. It is generally cheaper for a filament printer. Plus, you're not having to deal with the toxicity, et cetera, et cetera. However, the limitations on cost on a filament printer are going to be the size and the features. So like this Elegoo Neptune 3 Max 3D filament printer, auto leveling, FDM, it's $399, but it looks like 20 inches is as tall as it goes. Right? So that may
20
not...
inches is pretty good.
It is good. But, if you're looking to do big stuff, then you might need to buy a more expensive one.
Yeah. What are you looking to print?
He said mostly Mech Warrior size stuff. I'm sorry, Warhammer size stuff.
I was like Mech Warrior. That's a...
Sorry. Yeah, my bad.
I love Mech Warrior. So, and there's just as much lore like Warhammer as there is with Mech Warrior.
We did the HeroClix Mech Warriors. I don't know if you ever saw those.
The what?
HeroClix Mech Warriors.
What is that?
So HeroClix is a system of putting a mini on a dial base, and it has a rotating dial, and there's holes in the top of a slot in the top of the dial.
Larger, but different figure sizes.
To where you can twist it and see where the starting numbers are. And so there'll be like attack, defense, and movement all represented on the numbers on the dial. And when you like if somebody hits you and gets through your defenses, then you click the base down to the next set of stats until it is destroyed.
Oh, interesting.
It's actually a super interesting system. They started with Mech Warrior. So they had all these Mech Warrior figures on these bases, and they were pretty cool. And then they started doing superhero ones. And that's what made them famous and got them a lot of money, because they got the DC and the Marvel and then even indie stuff. And we used to mod the hell out of them in the store and make our own characters that they never released and stuff. But they eventually did a Galactus, which I sold, which I'm very sad about, because it was literally like a 2.5 foot tall Galactus. It was amazing.
Oh, damn.
Yeah, it was amazing. And it was a con exclusive, I think.
It was big.
Yeah. And now they have Star Trek HeroClix with the ships. And they've broken into quite a few different...
I lost track of it. I haven't really seen HeroClix stuff in a while. So.
Yeah, they have them at all the stores here. So I see like the stuff as it comes out, but I don't know if they've added anything new for a while. 750 million figures and counting is the most purchased collectibles miniature game on the market. That I believe. Where's the... God, I used to be an official judge for HeroClix too. Where is the products? There we go. So they still have Marvel and DC. Okay. What's Iconics?
I just had an idea for a crossover for Magic. It'd be Garbage Pail Kids in Magic.
Please no.
No, you don't want that?
No.
Well.
So, and the other thing that I neglected in my explanation of how it works is there are colored squares on the stats, and those equate to powers. So it's interesting because you can have like characters that get physically weaker as they take more damage, but then like get stronger at the end, or gain like a crazy powerful attack right before they die, or stuff like that. So it's kind of interesting.
Yeah. It was an interesting system. I never got into it. I don't remember why.
Nova Galactic.
I loved it.
Probably.
Oh, and
you
can
know.
we agree Black Panther should be green and black?
Games are always so.
He is the king of hell.
Jimmy Julius, Nova agrees with you on that Black Panther should be green and black and not green and white. I disagree. He is a white weenie, and he should stay exactly as he is so that he can boost my white weenie decks.
Nova Galactic. For MTG.
Yeah, I know. I knew what you meant. I knew exactly what you meant as soon as you said it.
Well, I appreciate you agreeing with me because I don't know. It just seems like a black creature. The way his abilities do, minus the what, I have to look at it again. There was something that made me agree with the colors that they picked him for, but I don't know. It just seems like a black creature, even though it's in his name and everything. But
oh, weird. But I like it. They have a new line called Iconics where they take different like the Amazing Spider-Man #1 where he's swinging and he's got the criminal under his arm. And they make that a
I was so mad when I saw that.
Pre-painted
I just was like
piece
king of hell.
that you can buy
recursion.
for $25 and then use it in your HeroClix games. So they're like really well painted, interesting figures. They have a Peacemaker. That's pretty amazing. Oh, with Eagly as its own separate. Oh, and the other guy, I forgot his name. Crap. The no, that's okay. It doesn't matter. Never mind. They have a Sherlock Holmes one set.
Interesting.
King Kong set. Oh, Bane breaking the bat set. Oh, they have a Thanos.
You got Dave's attention. He's not even here, and you just got his attention.
They have the Spider-Man pointing at each other, saying "there, set." That's hilarious. All right, this is drug on too long. My bad. Yep, sorry.
No worries, no worries. We got rambling, yeah.
Yeah. So then that's going to bring us to final thoughts. Matt, what's your final thought for this week?
Yeah, I should have been thinking about that. I am, for the first time ever, eyeing a DC series.
Yeah, I think you said this last time.
Did I?
Yeah.
I'm going to be getting the Absolute Superman book.
The Absolute what?
Absolute Superman.
Oh, okay.
It's their ultimate universe. That's going to be the fallout of this series that's going on right now.
Okay.
Yeah. And I can't say why I've never bought a DC series before, other than I've just always been Marvel.
the way it's been. So yeah, this will be interesting. I don't even know if this is a maxi. I don't know if this is a mini. I don't know if this is going to be an ongoing thing. I have no idea. But they got an author that I really love and a pretty cool art looking style, and it's pretty different. So I'm just intrigued to see where they go with it.
Nice. Well, you know my stance. I think DC's writing is better. Their continuity is better generally. And it's a nicer world to live in, except not right now.
Not right now.
Yeah, this new Absolute Power series has been pretty much what if Marvel writers were unleashed on DC. Let's make everything suck for everyone as bad as it can possibly be. I'm like, oh, it's a Marvel crossover. Got it. Jimmy, final thoughts?
So final thoughts is what?
Just like anything you want to give as a final thought.
Looking forward to that new content you were talking about in Once Human, and actually I was looking into that, and they're releasing the PvP stuff first, then the PvE.
Yeah. And
the PvE, I was looking into the content. It actually looks pretty interesting.
It's survival. It's division survival. I'm super excited about it.
Yeah, I'm pretty excited about it because I'm tired of the current content.
Yeah.
For obvious reasons, but
yeah. Well, it's still TBD on the thing, so I think we're just gonna have to let the 4 weeks expire. And hopefully,
whatever.
Yeah,
I don't mind. I'm not gonna go and play the PvP if I'm looking for if everybody else is going PvE. So
yeah, same.
And yeah, I think that's. I mean, just I was trying to look for some books, but I don't know if anybody has some good book suggestions. I've been looking.
Matt's got some.
Depends on what you like.
I'm a sci-fi fiend.
Have you read The Expanse?
No, I have not.
You should read The Expanse.
Just stop. Go get The Expanse. Just
right.
Stop and go.
That's it.
So I'm looking forward to that then. I appreciate the suggestion.
When we both immediately know the exact same answer.
I'll take that suggestion if it's like a jinx moment and it's like instant right to the brain.
Instant.
So it sounds like legit.
It's like, have you met your Lord and Savior, The Expanse, yet?
It's hard sci-fi too.
Red Rising.
That's
not like Asimov hard, but it's
like the most.
I haven't read.
It's the most sci-fi that's come out in like the last 25, 30 years. I think.
Yeah.
I even got my mom to read them, and she loves them.
Oh, nice. I was reading through all the Ender stuff and like what's the other one that's recently become popular again? The
three body problem.
The Dune.
Stuff.
Dune.
Yeah.
Dune stuff. Yeah. 3 body problems. Good. It is very heady. It is very, very heady. Do not expect action. Do not expect like anything we think of as pacing. It's very heady and very slow, but very good. I'm currently reading the Witcher book. Also good, but not heady.
Nova Galactic. I'm working through my yearly Wheel of Time read.
But there is a lot of political talking. A lot.
Nova, I used to do that, but not yearly. I'd do it before every book. I'd read the entire series again until the last book came out. And it was like those last 3 books written by Sanderson was like whiplash compared to the previous books that Jordan wrote. It was like you were on a roller coaster and we were getting there with those last 3 books. I literally felt the pain in my neck from the whiplash, but at the same time, it was really good. But once I finished the series, I have not gone back once. I don't feel like I need to right now. Anyways, I may at some point, but right now I'm good. I just want Frickin' Sanderson released the 3rd book in the Name of the Wind series, by God. The King Killer Chronicles.
Doesn't we have like 13 series ongoing though? That's kind of a problem.
It is a problem. I agree.
Anyway, we've gotten off topic again.
Yes. My final thought.
Wait, I still got 2 more things. Sorry.
Oh, wow, you have final thoughts. It's only supposed to be 1, but that's okay. Go ahead.
Oh, sorry.
No,
It
you're
was Star Citizen.
Yes.
They actually started heading in the right direction.
Oh my God, you can't fall through the train platforms?
No, you can't. Well, I haven't since, but I mean, you still might be able to, who knows, but they are actually heading in the right direction. They've done some cool ads and some of the...
Did I see something that there's now like a $40,000 ship?
You mean like, no, it's not one ship, it's a package.
Oh, it's a package. That's still not good.
It's like, I think that's every ship in the game.
Oh, that's still not great.
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
Yeah. All right. Well, my final thought. No, you had one more. Go ahead.
No, that should be it. That's fine.
Okay. My final thought is it is exactly 1 month till MagicCon. And I have 2 final thoughts. It is 1 month till MagicCon, and it is 1 month and 1 week from our annual subathon. Just as an FYI, that's going to be on Halloween. I don't know how long it's going to be yet. We're still figuring out the final details. Lexi had some medical stuff come up, so we didn't get to the planning that we want to do. But I do know we're going to do the Halloween costume contest again this year. We will have a bunch of sub goals. The first goal will be me as Tinkerbell. The final goal will be that I will get a tattoo. And the stretch goal will be that chat can decide what it is.
Oh, wow.
I have never had a tattoo in my life. I have had analysis paralysis for 50 years. So this will be my first tattoo. I am not looking forward to it, but I do know something that I think I would be happy with. But if we hit the stretch goal, I will let chat decide what it is, and I will cry about it.
So I would do like pick 4 and let chat decide. I wouldn't just let them go with anything because that could go bad.
Well, I mean,
and that's on you forever.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, we'll figure that out. But that's going to be on Halloween. So join us for that. We do have a sponsor who's already promised to match donations for up to $250. So that's pretty sweet. And it should be a really good time. We've got a lot of good stuff planned for it. So we're still in the planning process, but that'll be in a month. So join us for that. Should be a really good time. I also want to give a quick shout out, or actually, Jimmy, can you give yourself a shout out for doing mod stuff tonight? And also shout out Matt, if you would, which is Neo Sapien.
Druslo. Hey Gamersledge, good meeting you at Twitch.
Drulo, good to meet you at Twitch. I'm glad we were able to meet up. That is awesome. How are
Jimmy
you? How was the rest of your time off?
Neo
Have you
Sapien.
done your TwitchCon recap yet?
Jimmy Julius. So Neo Sapien. Druslo. It was great, I did.
Glad you could make the stream. We're literally just getting ready to raid out in here in a second. I'm sorry about that, but I appreciate it. And let me get, can
Jimmy
you give Drulo a shout
Jimmy
out also?
Julius.
Man, oh, there's people.
People, I'm dead. Oh, is this not? Oh, it is playing. It's right here. Jimmy Julius. Make sure you go check him out as well. He is an awesome community member. He also does all of our artwork, all of our transitions, a good number of our transitions, all of our animated emotes.
Go off to the side.
Yeah, it'll probably be a list to choose from.
Yeah, they're all dead.
Because it is something that will be on my body forever.
Nova Galactique. I always have to jump back into the world. I'm waiting on book 5 of Stormlight.
What does that do? Donate. Well,
Maybe have a year's limit on people that can suggest tattoos. For how long you've known them. And then chat can pick from those suggestions, maybe.
Yeah, I'm sure we'll.
Make it interesting.
Yeah.
You took all my money. This vending machine is broken.
Don't you hate broken vending machines in JRPGs? That is like one of the worst things. All right.
Vending machine.
So that was my final thought. That means we have come to the end of the show, where I leave everybody with a sage piece of wisdom to carry us over until the next time that we meet. Why would I forget about this? I've done it every podcast for 383 episodes.
Yeah, but it's been a long week.
I might have forgotten like once or twice.
Yeah, once or twice.
I think so, but
it's like the first time they didn't kill Kenny and stuff arc.
Yeah. So Jimmy Julius.
Yes.
What do you name a man who is heavily in debt?
Heavily in debt. I don't know. What do you call one?
Owen.
Oh, jeez.
Until next time, as always, be excellent with each other, and of course, game on.
Game on.
Jimmy's just stunned.